and likewise. And it never heats up, and then as it's going, see, this falls.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what this button's for.
Yeah, so the button. What's up, guys?
What's up, Isaac?
Preparedness on 3. 1, 2, 3. Preparedness. Yeah, we're heading over to check out this shower valve that a customer sent me an email over the weekend and said that it's not getting hot. Their shower's not getting hot, and the dial is turning all the way around. So we got to check this out. I had Zach trim it out, and this is a different valve than we've ever used before. We've never used a Santec valve, and it's been a pain in the ass from the start. This valve has been, well, first off, this was pre-COVID. We were supposed to start this job, and then COVID hit, and so we had to stop. And so I had everything brought to my warehouse. It's been stocked there for 3 months before we did this job. The customer had her kids, adult children, that had to come back and live with them because one of them lived in San Francisco, one of them lived in Chicago, and so they didn't want to be living there during the COVID lockdown, so they came back to live with her. So the main reason we couldn't work in there is they needed another working bathroom. But finally we got to do this job, and we found out the plumbing supplier that she had purchased the valve from ordered the wrong rough-in and ordered the wrong trim kit for the shower valve. And that company that ordered it for her has either gone out of business or is just not back open yet. I mean, most 95% of the businesses that closed for COVID are open again here in California, at least in our county. So it's really weird. I think they went out of business, and so we had to find another supplier to find that dealt with Santec. And Santec is kind of it's not a real popular plumbing fixture, and they've been really difficult to deal with. They've botched the order a couple times. They sent the rough-in, and then they didn't send the trim kit. Or no, they sent the trim kit before they sent the rough-in, so we couldn't do anything. So we actually tiled the whole bathroom, the whole shower, and just left an area out to put in the shower valve. And then, so we finally got the parts. It took about 3 weeks of you know, ordering and reordering and trying to deal with them. And then we finally get it, and then my installer, I think, screwed it up, but we'll see. Stuff happens. I mean, again, I like using shower valves that we use all the time. It's so much better. You'll see me use Delta a lot, and once the guys get to know how to use it, then it's just easy. Everyone's pretty much the same. Delta, Kohler, Moen, Price Fister, pretty much across the board. Simple, easy to put in, basic instructions you can follow along. You can call tech support if you need any help. But these off-the-wall ones like Newport Brass or Waterworks or this Santec company, it just seems like every time we deal with it, there's something that goes wrong, either installer error or they miss a part, or you know, their instructions are always terrible. They'll send the instructions for like 5 different valves, and you're trying to figure out which instruction goes to what, and it's just a mess. So we're pulling up to the house here, and we're gonna see what's going on. Anyways, we'll check out what's going on.
And so it's funny because, you know, I don't know where exactly it's supposed to go, but you would think it'd be at the top, that would be 100 degrees, and likewise. And it never heats up, and then as it's going, see, this falls.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what this button's for.
Yeah, so the button is like you turn it to where you want it, and then that's the temperature you're going to use it at 95% of the time. If you want it hotter, you would have to push this button to give it like an override. It's like an anti-stall.
Right, so you don't absolutely, so you don't accidentally,
burn yourself. Yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
So that's where I was going with it, and then I just, you know, whatever. I never got any hot water.
Okay, well, let's see.
So let it fly. And the other weird thing is, like, you're gonna get wet. So if you're standing there and you only wanted this little guy, this is gonna come on first. it's still gonna drip on you,
Oh, because that's...
which I thought was odd, but,
'Cause
so
it
I
goes
wouldn't turn
one,
it.
2. God. Yeah.
So that's kind of weird, so you just
That-
do it
yeah.
super fast and you'll just get one little squirt.
Yeah, so most of them would have the 1 over here and the 2 on the other side.
Right,
you
so
go
pick what you want.
Yeah.
And I thought that you could actually have them both on. I think you can.
This one, so in the state of California, you can't. So some plumbing suppliers will bypass and just send it, but Santec wouldn't. They said, no, we can't ship it to California.
Okay,
So if you have a California address, you can't have them both on at the same time.
okay, whatever. I won't fight that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so get out of the way.
Okay.
If you want, if
Okay.
you want that one.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and just take it apart because I know that something's not right in here. So we're gonna just take it apart and see what.
Oh, okay, you don't want to test it.
Well, I guess, yeah, let me see.
I mean, you can see what it does.
Yeah. So 2's down on the bottom.
Right. And is that thing supposed to go round and round?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
I mean, that seems weird to me, because then how would you know?
Yeah, you wouldn't know where it was at.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'll get a towel and something, and then do whatever you
Yeah, I
want.
don't think it's engaged in it.
Yeah, I think when I tightened it down, it must, I think it pulled it away a little bit. So I might need to
So
shim
we
it
might be
down.
able to shim the back of it to bump it out, maybe?
I don't know, yeah,
The
it may
whole
be
valve
that
plug.
way, or it may be cutting the thing to bring it in more. It, you know, it might be one or the other, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, yeah. But yeah, this is a 2 function, so I was saying, I wish this valve had the other function on the other side because you have to get to the shower head before you get to this, so, and then it'll go off. So, all right, well, let's take it apart and let's see what we're up against. Okay, so as we grab some tools to take this valve apart, just wanted to show you a little bit. So we actually tiled everything and then left, I think we left these 2 rows out while we waited for the rough-in to come in. We did it totally different than we usually do, but we didn't want to have the whole project sit on hold while we waited for this valve. But this shower and everything came out really nice. Got this nice little double niche detail. One of the cool things that Steve did with the layout here is he took the shelf and that's at the same level right here. So it gives it a really nice effect. It's kind of an asymmetrical look, which I like. I like how, you know, sometimes in tile we can get too balanced and it becomes boring and predictable. You throw something a little asymmetrical and it just gives it a lot of visual interest. But this is a 12 by 24 porcelain tile. It's made in the USA, one of my favorite lines. You can find it at Palm Tile here in Sacramento. And we used this Schluter A100 TSC to trim it out. You can see we got a really nice match on the trim, just kind of disappears. We did the tub deck, Schluter drain, waterproofing on everything with our 8+9. But the pan came out really nice, flat pebbles on the pan, kind of a spa natural look, really like it. We did the tub deck. She wanted to keep the drop-in tub. So this tub, we actually just took it out and tiled everything, put it back in. But we did do new plumbing fixtures on it as well. Oh, so it's got a double stem. So
I'm thinking that, yeah, I didn't engage it enough to here. There's your adjustment here.
okay, will you explain that again, Zach?
So basically in the kit there was an extension, I think for when you have, you know, different build out. So I had this extension in there, so what that did was it had it too far out
Oh, and it wasn't engaging with the plastic part?
Yeah, so now we're gonna pull that out and hopefully
See if
that
that fixes it.
engages.
It's either too long or too short, we know that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's too long because we can fix that. Too short, we're gonna have to order another part. Okay. So this is the valve trim kit that we have here, and so we fixed the temperature like it wouldn't get hot before. What I did is I spun the valve all the way open, and it just kept going. You know, that's counterclockwise. Screwed it all the way counterclockwise, and I got the temperature to get hot. So I think I got the ideal temperature range now. But what we're running into with our little cap, so it's got a little this little pin right here keeps it from scalding. So when you set your temperature, you want to go till it stops, and then that's your ideal temperature that you always shower at. That's a nice thing about thermostatic valves. You set your temperature and you never have to change it again. You just, you get the correct hotness of water that you want, and then you use the volume control to turn it on or off. So, but what this button does is it engages, and then it stops it at that temperature that you want. And if you want it to get hotter, then you can push the button and kick it up a couple more notches if maybe it's a really cold morning or you just want a really hot shower. But it's basically a scald prevention. This little part right here seems to be too long because it's not engaging with the little plastic part here. It's sitting out too far. See, if I put this in, it won't engage with it. It's sitting too far out. So I think what we need to do is trim this little brass piece back a little bit, and then that pin should engage right there because that's where it needs to stop, I believe.
I have either a small hacksaw or a grinder if we just want to shave it.
Yeah, I think a grinder. Let's just try to shave it. So the dangerous thing about cutting stuff like this is if we cut it too short, then we're in trouble. And we've done that before. Trust me, we've cut these stems a little too short, and then like, oh man, now you gotta call the supplier and have them order you another one. So Zach, this screw that holds the whole handle on is too long also, so we're gonna have to trim that. So we're gonna have to trim this screw down, and also this little extension here, we're gonna have to take about that much off of it. It's only about a strong 1/16, not even 1/8 of an inch. And we're gonna have to get that so it's all the way down. But there's like hardly any room for air. This valve, I would not recommend getting one of these Santec valves. Your plumber will be upset with you. They're super difficult. Again, look at these instructions. There's like, that's the only instructions. Again, it's for 2 different valves. So, and we got our wall perfect right in the minimum maximum, and we're still having to trim these little things. But you can see just one diagram, no real instructions. And then the worst part about it is that I've tried to call Santec tech support 3 or 4 different times, left messages, no return call. So with Delta, typically you can call them and right away you'll get to a tech. You can tell them what valve you have. They'll walk you through step by step if you have an issue. So in my opinion, I would never use this valve Santec ever again. So yeah, we're just gonna basically be taking that little 1/8 inch off or whatever, and then the screw we're gonna be taking 3/8 off, maybe, Zach?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just take that much off the end. So whatever that is, that's like a strong quarter, maybe 5/16. So that's how much we'll take off of that one. So I'm a little nervous because if we botch this, then we're gonna have to order a new part. But that's the only way I can see, using a mechanical mind of how parts go together. That's the only way I can see. Birch trees are one of my favorite. There's some little tiny birches. I got a ways to go. It's a nice redwood. That's a healthy looking redwood. Look at that guy. And then one of my favorite trees is the crepe myrtle. It's got these really vibrant flowers that bloom all summer long. Another one over there. They have pink, they have red, they have white ones too. Don't want to go too much, huh?
Yeah. Are there air on the side? Long.
Yeah, we just need that little button to engage. That's all we're going after now. Okay, so you can see we trimmed this little stem. Nice clean cut on it. So yeah, so now that we shortened this little stem, and we put our little washer back on, this button is now engaging on that plastic part. So yeah, now it's stopping, and then if you want it hotter, you have to push that button down to go hotter. And that allows it to go all the way up to
That's fine. It's a little warm.
there we go. It's supposed to have some resistance. That's right, because before it was just like kind of floppy. So you'd have to push the button to see.
Oh, okay.
That's what stops it. So it's going to stop at the temperature. So is that still working now? I mean,
Yeah.
you can get that. So how do you get the handle on? Just right.
Do we need to orient it down? Is that where we're in that final position?
Yeah, that should be good. So last thing is we have a little set screw to get the handle on. Okay, so that's supposed to be how it works. Okay, so let's test this out now. I'm gonna put it on. Okay, so that should be hot. The hot water heater's far away, so it takes a while to get up here. Yeah. Okay, so now we're good operating temperature. And if we hit the button, let's see if we can get it really hot. Oh yeah. Yeah, see. Now we got it.
Okay.
So what this does, Linda, so you have the button. So it's working good. Now it's not just...
Yeah, it was just moving on its own.
So the stem they gave us was just like an 1/8 inch too long. So we had to just shave it so that this had to just sit in a little bit more. So now this is, you don't want to go hotter than this. And if you did want it hotter, you push the button, like if for some reason you need it like really hot.
Yeah.
But that's basically to protect you from getting burned.
Okay. So you set it at a certain...
Set it somewhere.
What is normal for a shower?
Normal for a shower is
100
probably...
I have no idea.
I think it's one... I don't...
Yeah, I have no idea.
I see it.
Maximum temperature limit stop should be adjusted on showers to 110 to 115. Okay. 120 max. So yeah.
So do you want to put your hand on that, Linda, and see if that's kind of what you'd be using it at? Is that about?
That feels about right to me.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll adjust this back to where this setting where it's on the dial. We'll pull this out and put it vertical.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you can still turn it.
Yes.
If you want it hotter or
Yeah.
colder, sure. Okay, and then,
Take this out. Right there. Okay, if you want to get that. Okay, so this was sitting here. I'm going to take this out and put it right here, and that's the temperature that we're gonna have it operate at. So that way, when it hits here, that's the exact temperature that they're going to want to take a shower at every morning. So they'll just know it's a nice reference point. That's the nice thing about thermostatic valves, is you get this to where it's going to be, and the temperature is going to be the same all the time. And so if you want it hotter, that's what this button is for. You push the button and you can bypass it and go hotter than you want it. So that should be it. A little Phillips head that,
Oh yeah.
like most of them have an Allen head on it, and you can get a good crank on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's test that out. So yeah, we got it, man. We got it nailed.
I just was kind of second guessing myself. I was like, didn't want to keep hacking away. It just seemed kind of crazy, but good stuff.
Okay, so that was a relief to be able to get that valve done. Honestly, I thought we were gonna have to order some parts. Most of the time when that stuff happens, you notice how we had to trim that stem. Most of the time we trim it too short or something and then have to order a new part. So I feel really good about getting that taken care of. That was nice. But yeah, dealing with Santec, those valves, I'm gonna highly discourage customers from using them again. Just because, again, we couldn't get a hold of tech support, so we had to just basically fly blind and figure it out on our own. But that's what we do, and we got her done, so that's a good thing. So anyways, you guys, I got a lot of comments on my last video, on my outro, where I talked about, you know, guys watching too much porn. And I know it's kind of a untouchable subject that nobody likes to talk about, but I think we really do need to raise awareness. I mean, we're comfortable with talking about all sorts of other things, like now we can finally talk about drug addiction and alcoholism and the mental health issues, depression and stuff that guys deal with. But porn never seems to be brought up, and I think it's a huge problem with our society. You know, I'm 42 years old, and when I was a kid, you know, if you wanted to watch porn, you had to go to some back alley video store. You know, they had the little, you know, it was like this little place in the back of the VHS video stores where you had to go and find these, or, you know, they had the magazine racks, you know, the Playboys and the Penthouses and stuff, and, you know, those were always kind of in some separate area. And, you know, maybe we got a hold of our dad's penthouse or something and checked it out. But now, you know, our kids, they have phones, and porn is available 24/7. Anytime you want to find it, you don't even need to go looking for it, and it's going to pop up on your phone. So this is an issue that causes a lot of issues with men. It affects our self-esteem. It affects our relationships. It affects our marriages. It affects so much, yet nobody really wants to talk about it. So that's why I raise awareness about it. And if it makes you uncomfortable, sorry it's doing that, but I feel it's something that needs to be talked about. So anyways, that's all I got today, but thanks for checking out the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to watch the next video coming up. Click like and subscribe, and turn your notifications on. That way you see my twice weekly video uploads. So again, watch that next video coming up. Last but not least, guys, I love you. I love being your tile coach, and we'll see you on next video.